Um, well, first, I want to say thank you to all of you that have come out for the press conference today. And I want to say thank you to the many groups that are representing their communities also today. Uh, I want to talk a little bit about the purpose of the press conference that we've called. Almost all of you probably have received the press statement regarding the move of a facility over into the Ninth District. And so today's conference is to make sure that we inform our residents and the residents of the city that a current federal government facility, and that facility is located at 344 East Knapp Street in downtown Milwaukee, they are looking to relocate to our district and specifically to the facility that we are standing in front of right now. It is always my intent to make sure that residents of the district are informed of what's happening around them. So we never want anyone to be caught off guard. On December 9th at 11:06 a.m., I received an email from the Department of City Development informing me that an application for proposed minor modifications to a detailed plan development known as Park Place Stage 6, that is this development. This application was a request to allow changes to the site and existing building located at 11925 West Lake Park Drive. It further stated that these minor modifications were the request by the private owner, which is Milwaukee Governmental LLC, and will allow changes to the site and the exterior of the existing building on this subject. The District 9 is a very proud district. We're very diverse. We're diversity in our neighborhoods, diversity in our businesses, and diversities in our developments that we offer. And we are continuously growing as a district of opportunity. We are a district that is involved in decisions of these developments and businesses that wish to join us. So we are a district that does what it can to ensure that these new developments and businesses adhere to the expectations of our district and that they come to add value and growth to our district. We are a district that has tremendous potential, but that doesn't mean that we're going to accept any and everything. And it certainly doesn't mean that we're going to allow someone to just come into our district without warning or without knowledge. So what I mean when I say we, I am talking about all of us for District 9, and I'm also talking about the city of Milwaukee, because it is so important that we are informed of things that are happening around us, especially when we're talking about government agencies that are coming that could potentially raise the anxiety level of the many citizens of our city. I will always try to make sure that the residents of District 9 and the city are informed when things are happening. I said that. And we are not here to sound an alarm or raise anxieties, but we are here to inform the people and to also hear from the people regarding this facility. So I do want you to know that the facility in question is named the Department of Homeland Security. That is the name that is on the front of the building at 344 East Knapp Street. Inside that facility is the ICE office, which is the Immigration, Customs, and Enforcement Office. And that office intends to move to this facility and operate exactly as they operate. At least that is the word that they have given, that they will operate exactly as they do downtown. They will operate that same way here at this facility. What I'd like to do now is to bring up a few other speakers from the community so that they can voice concerns or opinions in regards to this matter. And so the first person that I'd like to bring up is, wonderful, is our president, Alderman Jose Perez.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Buenas tardes. Thank you, Alderwoman Taylor, for this invitation. And I just want to say that I stand before you as a proud child of immigrants. Most of us Here are immigrants, whether it's second, third, fourth generation. I'm here to tell you that I stand with immigrant families. I stand for decency and human rights. And although we are not certain what type of federal facility might be planned here for this location, or how vague some of this information is at times, I am firmly opposed to any expansion of ICE-type detention services in the city of Milwaukee. People are scared. Kids are scared. This is the time to push back hard. Whether here or somewhere else in the city, my role as council president is to ensure that the laws are followed. And those laws are to protect our families, our most vulnerable. We'll push the envelope as far as we can to ensure that residents are treated fairly. That includes ensuring that MPD follows its standard operating procedures that strictly prohibits assisting ICE agents. It means that we employ our local ordinances and home rule to determine the fate of our residents. It means challenges by legal appeal or by the screaming of our voices that we will not simply going to roll over and have residents be punished, families be separated, and children left to fend for themselves. There must be a process to everything, and federal facilities simply popping up with no notice isn't fair to the residents of Milwaukee. Thank you so much for being here. Y si se puede.
All right. Next, I'd like to invite up Mary Hone, and she is our Granville Business Improvement District Director.
First of all, thank you, Alderman Taylor, for organizing this and all you folks for coming out. Welcome to Granville area. If you don't know, you are in Granville, just part of District 9. And although our bid doesn't go quite this far out, this is our neighborhood, and we definitely embrace it as our neighborhood. And we have always said that Granville is the one area of the city that's very diverse, very multicultural, and we try to embrace that. And we really are working very hard to make this a neighborhood for ethnic groups to feel safe and live, work, and play. I'm going to take a when we look at what has been done. This is a beautiful building that could house many things and not a prison. That's right. Not a place that takes kids away from their families, not a place that just takes people away from the life that they've lived. This should be used to bring jobs to people in our area can find employment. And we should not sit back and allow the government, the feds, whoever, to come in here and tell us that this is going to be a prison. I also want to look at the neighborhood we're in. We have, if you drove over there, there's a child care center. We have many hotels over here. We have new restaurants. We're trying to get more businesses in this area. What does it say when we suddenly take a beautiful building, put great big fences around it, and say this is where we're going to import, export, whatever they're doing, people that they've decided don't belong here? No, we can't allow that in our neighborhood. And so just from that standpoint alone, we can't allow it. We absolutely cannot allow them to bulldoze us and come into Granville and do this, and also to bulldoze the city of Milwaukee and say, well, we've got this big building that we don't know how many beds we're going to use and what we're going to do. But when I was looking at this area, I'm thinking, oh, this is real convenient. We're right off the freeway. So we kind of know why they've chosen this area. Continue your fight. We're behind you. We will not sit back and let this happen without one heck of a fight. So we're in support with the Common Council and, of course, with Alderman Taylor. Thank you so much for coming again. And our next speaker is Anita Johnson, the Community Involvement for the African American Roundtable Board member. Anita?
I am Anita Johnson, and I am a resident of District 9. And just up the street is my church. I sit on the board of the African American Roundtable, which is also located in District 9. I am amazed by the efforts of this government that thinks that District 9 or this state can be a place that they can use as a dumping ground for ICE detention center. We love our state. Our families, senior citizens, and people with disabilities live here. And we don't want the threat of the federal government guidelines coming into our state. Let's get it straight. We don't want families split up. We don't want ICE in this state, period. Find another place to put this building or another state. We have enough problems, local problems of our own. We don't need yours. Thank you.
Next up, we will have our State Assembly Rep, Russell Goodwin.
Thank you, Alderwoman. Good afternoon. My name is Representative Russell Antonio Goodwin Sr., and I'm proud to represent Wisconsin's 12th District. I'm here today to stand with my Alderwoman and my Senator and voice my concerns about the facility being considered at this location. Our community deserves thoughtful, inclusive development, projects that bring opportunities, resources, and growth. Facilities like the one being proposed here simply don't align with the vision we have for our neighborhoods. A project like this does not serve the needs of our residents. It does not bring jobs, it does not bring housing, and it does not bring investment. Instead, it risks creating tension and instability where we need unity and progress. What's the most troubling is the lack of consultation with the community. The people who live here deserve a voice in what is built in their neighborhood. Decisions like this should not be made without the input and consent of the people who are most affected. Our community deserves development that uplifts and empowers us. We need projects that create opportunities, strengthen families, not pulls them apart, and that can contribute to the overall well-being of our neighborhoods. So I urge everyone here today to continue making your voices heard. Let's stand together and demand that our community is included in these decisions. Together we can push the kind of development that reflects our values and meets our needs. Thank you.
All right. The next person that I'm going to bring up is Stephanie Harling, and she is the Havenswood Business Improvement District Director. Thank you.
Good morning. Welcome to the city's far northwest side, to District 9. I will start by saying that we as a board and an organization are completely in agreement with the statements that have been made today. I will take another angle at this, and that is the economic development angle that's been touched on a little bit. The 9th District, the people of the 9th District, have been tasked with carrying the burden of so many social ills that we are dealing with. We have lost over 75 acres of prime commercial industrial land in District 9 to solving social issues. The fact that the people of this community are required to carry that burden by themselves in the city of Milwaukee is too much. We are experiencing compassion fatigue. It is too much. It is inequitable, and it needs to be spread across the city. That being said, there is no excuse for this to be a surprise to anyone. We have an organized community. Residents are working daily to make this community thrive. And to have this, yet another burden of social ill, be not solved. We're not solving any problems here. We are displacing the problem. And we're putting that burden on the backs of residents in District 9. This pattern has to stop. And this is the final blow. This is the most offensive blow to dividing families, putting children at risk, putting families at risk, and also putting our own economic development, job creation, the better use of land, and really just building up this community for positive instead of jailing people because of where they come from. That is unacceptable. So we are opposed to this development. We will be here to help with that fight. Thank you very much.
All right. Our next speaker is our state senator, Dora Drake.
There is more that unites us than divides us. There is more that unites us than divides us. And this is proof right here today with groups here from our business development groups to folks that have advocated for strengthening our families, fighting against anything that would disrespect our humanity. When Alderwoman Taylor informed me of what was happening, I think many of you had the same response as I did. Shock, fear, anger, and what do we do next? Well, this is what we will do. I, as well as many of my other colleagues, we are continuously seeking and still seeking answers from our local, state, and federal partners to get to the bottom of this. It's because it is clear that the message is this is not aligned with our values. We value diversity. We value families being together. And anything that does not align with that is a threat to what's happening right here and now. And so as we move forward, we will be alongside with you. We stand in solidarity with you. And this is not just the beginning. This is going to be the end of what we're moving forward with. And I want to make sure I acknowledge the other elected officials that have came with us today. We have State Representative Madison, Representative Prado, Alderwoman Samaripa, Alderwoman Moore, Alderman DeAndre Jackson, and Representative Clancy, and City Treasurer Spencer Cox. Supervisor Martinez. Oh, there's so many. Supervisor Martinez and Alderwoman Cox. And if this is just, my apologies, and Alderman Chambers, this is just a snapshot. This is just a snapshot of so many people that know what's right and what's wrong. And so as we move forward to address this issue, let's not forget that. I think it's going to be really easy for us to figure out what's wrong with different groups. But as we stand here today, we can see this is not just the Alderman's 9th District issue. This is the 4th Senate District issue. This is the City of Milwaukee issue. And frankly, it is a state and federal issue. Thank you.
Thank you so much to our state senator for that, and I appreciate her making sure that we acknowledge everyone. But if you could bear with me, I do have two others. I would like to yield the floor to Alderwoman Zamparipa, allow her a moment, and then we have one other speaker for you after that.
Thank you, Alderwoman Taylor. I'm Alderperson Jocasta Samaripa. I represent the 8th Aldermanic District on Milwaukee's near south side, home to a supermajority of Latino Milwaukeeans, as well as home to many, many immigrant families. I want to thank Alderwoman Taylor. I want to read a statement by myself and colleagues that weren't able to attend today. We do have Finance Committee going on right now at City Hall. Thank you for this latitude. We stand with Alderwoman Larissa Taylor in opposition to a possible proposed new ICE detention facility in her district and in opposition to the separation of any immigrant families in our city. President-elect Trump has made his intentions clear, and we won't stand by as he lays out the plans to make his campaign promise a reality. We stand ready, and we won't be intimidated, and we won't stand for intimidation of our neighbors, of our constituents. Immigrants in our state contribute to our economy and are essential workers in farms, daycares, construction sites, and in home health care, to name a few. No child deserves to come home from school to their parents missing. We continue to seek more information on how the city regulates this building process. Not now, not ever, not one family separated, and not in our city. Thank you.
And we have one more person, and that is Ms. Carmen Ortiz.
Thank you. Thank you to Alderwoman Larissa Taylor. I'm here from the Southside Organizing Center, and I have a prepared statement on behalf of our community, has spoken loud and clear about the need for humane and due process immigration reform. We do not support a mass detention center assumed to be for immigrants at this time. A mass detention center clearly signals the intent for the mass collection of suspected immigrants in and from our communities, which also raises alarming concerns about stereotyping immigrants racism, and discrimination. Let us all be reminded that except for the indigenous First Peoples in this area, and also original Mexicans in our Southwest region, we are all willing or unwilling immigrants for those forced here through slavery and other circumstances. One example of our community's immigration response is captured in the much supported Milwaukee Police Department Standard Operating Procedure 130. Please follow up and check on that. Requiring judicial warrants for collaborations between MPD and Immigration and Customs, among other important issues. Thank you.
All right. I want to say thank you to all of you who have come out today. But as you can see, we do stand in solidarity, and I truly appreciate all those that have come out to stand with District 9 as there is this proposed facility coming to our district. It is not coming to our district on the fact that we're just going to lay down and just take it, because we're not going to do that. And we're not going to just allow or just be silent when a facility can come into our district and not have to adhere to the local zoning laws that we have in place. So again, I do want to say thank you to all of you who have come out. Thank you to everyone who has spoke and who have come out in support of understanding that this facility that exists downtown. Now, I know it existed downtown for the last 25 years, but just to up and move it to a district and not have, as has been said, the community be able to weigh in on it is not something that we're going to accept. Thank you.
Alderwoman Taylor, you mentioned the modification narrative in your opening remarks. We've received that from your office earlier today. In that narrative, it mentions nothing about a detainment facility. It says that this will be used as a government office to process immigrants, to process non-detained report-ins, and to process detainees for transport to holding facilities. So can you clarify what this building is supposed to be used for, please?
So as I also said in the very beginning, is that the facility that exists downtown on 344 East Knapp Street is a facility that is used for what you have just read, to process non-detained and detainees. And that is exactly what they say they're going to do here in this facility.
Okay, so you guys talked about having people being held here. Is that happening? A lot of different people spoke about detainees being held here as a detention facility.
And so what we've also said, and what you have read in that document, is that the facility will operate, again, just as it does downtown, from an 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Time frame. And that is exactly what they're saying that they would do here. So they're not saying that they would house anyone overnight in this facility.
ICE says that there are no detention facilities listed or planned for this location. We just got the statement right before we started. Your response to that?
As we said before, it is a processing facility where they are going to process individuals, detainees and detainees out of this facility.
Have you voiced your opposition to the owners of the building or the Department of City Development?
And so what I'd like to say is that, so we are definitely in communication with Department of City Development. That is where our information is coming from. And those of you who have received those correspondences can see that. And the other part was the owners of the building. And so the owners of the building has reached out to me, and we are planning to meet and maybe discuss possibilities for this facility.
Has Homeland Security give you a timeline? I mean, is this a done deal? They're moving in on a certain date?
No, they have not given us a timeline to date.
Since this work is already being done downtown, I'm just wondering why not the protest? I mean, because why the focus stay here on this location when this work is already being done?
That facility that operates downtown, that building is being sold. And so they needed to look for space that would accommodate their needs. And so they have determined that this would be that space. This space is rather large. And so they felt that this was a better move for them.
As far as, but I mean, I guess we haven't heard about the protest. None of you have been at that location, raising issues about what's happening there.
Yes, they have. Yes, they have. You maybe weren't there to cover.
You haven't been there. Oh.
They stay there.
The people have spoken.
Okay.
Next question.
FYI.
Next question.
You called out President-elect Trump in your statement. This is president right now.
Biden.
So why aren't you calling out the president who leads vice
Trump,
president?
I mean, Biden is days away from being inaugurated. He's the president-elect. I'm sorry, Trump is the president-elect. He's about to be inaugurated on the 20th. It doesn't. It's.
President power right now is what he's saying, that President Biden is still in control. The original notice of this modification started in November. There are emails dating back to November telling the alderwoman that this is going to happen. So why the push for President Trump? Why not the push for President Biden to have intervened at some point in time before this?
Okay, so what I'd like for us to make sure that we understand, the purpose here is that a facility is moving into the district without giving the residents of this district any time to evaluate or to discuss or have any type of community organizing to discuss whether or not that facility is welcomed here. So they're not also abiding by, or they're saying that they have an exemption right so that they don't have to abide by the local zoning laws. What we are here to look at today is the fact that this building that now exists downtown can come here. We are not looking at policy right now with the new administration to come.
What is your opposition both to the lack of community engagement and the separation of families and the process of delivering?
So District 9 does pride itself on being able to have community engagement whenever we have new developments that come through into our district. And we're not given that opportunity to do that here.
So just
Take one more question.
what's next? What's your game plan from here?
So next, we would like to keep researching. We like to keep fact-finding, making sure that we gather information and know what's available to us.
So just to be clear, there's no information that we don't have, that you guys have, that this is planned to be turned into a detention center.
No, you're exactly right. You have the information that we have. And so it is called right now downtown a processing center for non-detainees and detainees.
And the community is going to organize. That's what we're going to do. We're going to continue to organize and push back like we've been doing. We haven't just showed up here. We have shown up downtown and many other places in the community. We are going to organize and push back. It's not welcome here in this district or the city, period.
Thank you.
I'm heading downtown for the next story. Okay. I'm just kind of